Michael Kern, I'm chairman of this committee, along with Councilman Visconti and Councilman Arcani. Also present are Councilman Seabury, ex officio, Councilman Stanley, ex officio, Les Pinter from the Corporation Council. I think Wayne Shepherd's representing the mayor's office.
I think so.
Or are you,
No, I'm,
okay.
yeah, that's it. I'm it.
John Stillman from the unit, Larry McGraw from the unit, and Paul Otello, ex officio. The purpose of this committee is to take a look at an amendment to the Code of Ordinance, Section 12-33, pertaining to shopping carts. Wayne, I'm gonna toss it out to you to give your side, and then we'll throw it around to questions.
One of the concerns the mayor has had is just the unsightly component that these wayward shopping carts present. He's talked to many of the store owners already. Not easy to have them control it, not easy for us to control it. So he's trying to find an answer to say, you know, how can we stop these from escaping from their own parking lots? A number of things that we've taken a look at, and these are expensive answers to a shopping center owner, where they actually have some of the carts that lock up the minute you leave, but that's an expensive answer. His proposal, the mayor's proposal, as he presents it to you right now, is to suggest a fine for the business owner as well as the individual who was caught with the shopping cart. Obviously, that gets into the area of Sean and Larry here. Not an easy thing to put your arms around, but he's trying, and it's just the constant annoyance, I would say, and the look, just the unsightly look of it is the issue at hand. And he's trying to come up with an answer that says how do we address it, both with the people who are taking them and with the owners of the shopping centers, who are they're losing carts themselves. So there's a cost to the shopping center owner or the grocery store owner. There's a cost to us to go out and collect these, pick them up, toss them, and junk them. So there's cost, and basically they're trying to get some of the cost back for the city.
Question I have first for Sean. Sean, do you run into this a lot? Do you see a lot of them? Do you find a lot of them? And what are we doing with them now when we find them?
We find carts on city sidewalks, people's front yards, backyards, side yards, parks, you name it.
What do we do with them now?
Well, we have a city vehicle, we have a Blazer, so we don't have a lot of room to put them in our car. I have one time at least fit one cart in our car and brought it to Public Works. But essentially the highway department goes around, they have the resource with the pickup truck, and they throw in the back of the pickup truck and bring them to the Public Works.
Now, in this ordinance, your unit, the unit's gonna be able to write the citations, right?
Yeah, apparently we'd have the authority to give a citation to either the store and or the individual pushing along the cart. It's a very good concept. Larry and I were talking about it earlier today, saying that we have seen people in the past, not recently, pushing carts. Usually they're individuals that are in no position to even pay a fine. So it would probably make more sense, while this ordinance is good, but who's responsible for the carts but the stores themselves? So posting a sign to not remove the carts, penalizing the supermarkets, whether it's a process of a step, warning first and a fine second, whether it's a progressive warnings, we can do that. But maybe stores just need a refresher that, the city is littered with carts.
Approximately how many carts you dealing with here?
Five today, just on Danbury Avenue.
5 today.
Today.
I was gonna say that too, yeah.
Average day?
Average day, 2, 3, we see on the Danbury Avenue area, Osborne Street, we've seen them on Main Street, down here, stop.
15 to 20 carts a week.
Easy,
That's
easy.
That's safe.
Okay.
And that's on the street, on the sidewalks, that's not counting what we find behind people's houses, which could be 3 and 4 at one house.
I have a follow-up, Mr. Chairman. Are they pretty much from the same store? Or are they from variety of different stores.
Majority of them come from what, C-10 that we found and wall bound.
Those are the majority.
Majority.
Seatown and wall bounds, maybe because of close proximity to multifamily homes where it's easier to push them out of the property and to their homes.
Do those stores have the proper signage regarding removal of shopping carts?
No.
Not that I'm aware
We've
of.
asked
Is
them to
there
put it
something
up and they have
required?
not.
I think that's part of the mayor's frustration, is that you have talked to a couple of the places and they just haven't gotten a response.
Well, according to subsection B, it says providing shopping carts for use shall post, not may post, since you're all business, so they're in violation of the current 12-33, because they have not posted. Is that,
If I may.
Yes.
We've asked C-Town at least 4 times to put a sign up to stop them from leaving the premises with a shopping cart. And to the best of my knowledge, they have never posted anything like that. They have gone out and collected shopping carts after we jumped them a couple of times to go do it. They set a big truck around to pick them up. They only did that like twice and then they stopped.
so they've never been fined for not
Oh, no,
doing,
we never find anybody.
for not posting the sign?
No.
Do you have a question?
Not a question, I just wanted to make a statement if I may.
Go ahead.
I think what we're looking at here is sort of a devil's advocate, if you may call it that. We're looking to put stores up for more, going from $15 to $25 for signage. We're looking for the stores to go out and pick up whatever they can of their shopping carts. And I don't really know how to approach this subject, but I would say that most of these violations that come from the shopping carts being out on the street or behind houses are from homeless people or what have you. And I don't see them being able to pay any type of a fine because they just don't have the money. That's why they take the shopping carts and do their bottles or whatever it may be to pick up. So I'm wondering if we were to enact what the mayor wants here, and I really don't have a problem with it, but what kind of a reaction we're going to get from the stores, and I'll use like the A&P up here, or Wall Bombs, or Seatown as an example, and that's just as an example. I'm sure there are other stores that have a problem. What kind of a reaction we're going to get from them, if any at all? Because if we were to really enforce this, the proposed amendment, I can see where, and I've read this several times, where they're gonna have to hire people to go out in a pickup truck and pay them to go out and pick up the carts. If that isn't done, and we start picking them up through the highway department and storing them with $2 per week, or not to exceed $50, and then $10 for return of each shopping cart, so on and so on. I just would be interested to see if there has been any input at all, Mr. Chairman, from the stores as to what kind of an idea they would have here, because it is their problem, but it isn't their problem. There's a couple ways to look at this, as I pointed out. They don't have anybody out there all day long looking at how many people are taking the shopping carts out and then coming back within another 2 hours or 3 hours, or the next morning with a load of bottles to be put into the machines for whatever money these people can get. So I just think that there is a devil's advocate here, and I would just be interested to see some kind of an input from the stores along the way here.
Larry?
Through the chair, the average cost of a shopping cart, one shopping cart, is $160. I've already checked on that. And there's several stores that I kind of looked up to find out what they do about it in areas other than Danbury. Some of them have a device like you spoke of, but it costs you a quarter. You put a quarter in, you take the shopping cart out, you put the shopping cart back, you get your quarter back. That's one of the things that they do have. As far as the shopping carts go, some of the people that push those shopping carts are actually doing us a favor, because they're picking up all these bottles and cans and getting them off the street for us. So, I mean, you don't want to go after those people, but you know, they're looking to cash in
No, I
the
don't-
bottles and stuff.
Through the chair, if I may answer that, I don't have a problem with it. I realize what they're doing. But I'm just saying, I would like to see some kind of an input or a legal from a legal standpoint, even, we have corporation counsel here, as to, what could happen down the road. With the involvement of the stores here, not the people that do the actual problem, cause the actual problem. And I'll present that to the corporation.
Through the chairman, sure. First of all, you'll get some input from the merchants and others at the public hearing, which you would have to have typically for an ordinance, you know, if you made a positive recommendation tonight, so you have some input. There's a couple of, maybe more than a couple of precedents we may be able to reach to, although they're not exactly related, but they are related. The council had considered a prohibition on phone companies and others from throwing their stuff on people's lawns. There wasn't a lot of public reaction to that because it never went in the form of an ordinance. But you did adopt an ordinance on, what's the other one that you did? Just slipped my head a moment ago. But there's a couple of precedents out. Oh, I know what it is. It's the newspaper vending boxes. The council did adopt an ordinance on that. We did expect, because there were limitations on placement and how many and locations and all that, and that did go to a public hearing. I don't think there was too much reaction there, except we got one reaction afterwards by somebody, by the newspaper, complaining about that. So those are precedents. How much reaction there'll be here is difficult to know, but those precedents do exist, and you'll only really find out, Fred, at the public hearing or subsequently when people are aware of this. A lot of this, like the noise ordinance we have and others, half the benefit is the publication that's out there, that here's the prohibition, even if you never enforced it, and you may or may not be able to physically enforce it, but the other half is the actual legal remedies that we have, which we do have. So you gotta look at it from both ends that way too. I don't think the noise ordinance has been enforced very much because the meters are expensive, and I'm not really sure how much of that has gone on, but the chilling effect of that works in some cases, even if you never actually do anything about it.
Thank you. Through the chair to, these store owners are already a victim of a crime when somebody takes those shopping carts out of there. That's a larceny all to itself. But I think I'd like to see some enforcement regarding post.